All right. Okay. So I hope my screen is visible. Okay.
Yes, Prabhu, it is visible.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. So 12:20. Ye tu dharmamritam idam. Ye tu dharmamritam idam. Yatoktam paryupasate. Yatoktam paryupasate. Shradadana mat parama. Shradadana mat parama. Bhaktaste tiva me priyaha. Bhaktaste tiva me priyaha. Ye tu dharmamritam idam. Yatoktam paryupasate. Shradadana mat parama. Bhaktaste tiva me priyaha. Prabhus, you can try.
Can I try, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeto dharmyamritam idam yatoktam paryupasade shraddhana mat parama bhaktaste tiva me priya.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else?
I would like to try, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Yetu dharmamritam idam yathoktam paryupasate shridhadhanamat parama bhaktaste tiva me priyaha.
Yes. Nice. Matajis? Anyone? Matajis?
I try, sir.
Yes, please.
Yedo dharma amarda idam yeto tam paryupatase sardahana mat parama bhakta te tiva me priya.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So ye, those who. True, but dharma. Dharma here translated as of religion. So dharma, amritam, amritam is nectar. Idam, this, yata, as, uktam, said. Paryupasate, completely engaged. Shradadanaha, with faith. Mat parama, taking me, the Supreme Lord, as everything. So mat parama, Shradadanaha, with faith. Shraddha means faith. Right? So Bhakta. Bhakta means devotees. They. Athiva. Very, very. Me, to me. Priya. Priya means dear. So translation. Those who follow this imperishable path of devotional service and who completely engage themselves with faith, making me the supreme goal, are very, very dear to me. Right? So please, anyone read the purport?
Can I try, Prabhu?
Yeah, please read the purport.
Okay. In this chapter, from verse 2 through the end, from my aveshya mano yemam, fixing the mind on me, through yetu dharmaham ratham idam, this religion of eternal engagement, the Supreme Lord has explained the processes of transcendental service for approaching Him. Such processes are very dear to the Lord, and He accepts a person engaged in them. The question of who is better, one who is engaged in the part of impersonal Brahman, or one who is engaged in the personal service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, was raised by Arjuna. The Lord replied to him so explicitly that there is no doubt that devotional service to the personality of Godhead is the best of all processes of spiritual realization. In other words, in this chapter, it is decided that through good association, one develops attachment for pure devotional service and thereby accepts a bona fide spiritual master, and from him begins to hear and chant and observe the regulative principles of devotional service with faith, attachment, and devotion, and thus become engaged in the transcendental service of the Lord. This part is recommended in this chapter. Therefore, there is no doubt that the devotional service is the only absolute path for self-realization, for the attainment of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The impersonal conception of the Supreme Absolute Truth, as described in this chapter, is recommended only up to the time one surrenders himself for self-realization. In other words, as long as one does not have the chance to associate with a pure devotee, the impersonal conception may be beneficial. In the impersonal conception of the absolute truth, one works without fruitive result, meditates, and cultivate knowledge to understand spirit and matter. This is necessary as long as one is not in the association of pure devotee. Fortunately, if one develops directly a desire to engage in Krishna consciousness in pure devotional service, he does not need to undergo step-by-step improvement in spiritual realization. Devotional service, as described in the middle sixth chapter of Bhagavad Gita, is more congenial. One need not bother about materials to keep body and soul together, because by the grace of the Lord, everything is carried out automatically.
Yes, thank you, Prabhu. So, today we are on our final shloka for the chapter 12, Bhakti Yoga, a very important chapter. So, here, after, Prabhupada is telling here, from the verse 2 through the end, from Maya Vasa Manoyemam, Maya Avesha Manoyemam, fixing the mind on him, on me, through Yetu Dharmamtram Idam, the religion eternal engagement, this current shloka. The Supreme Lord has explained the process of Bhakti Yoga, how to approach Him. So, and clearly we can understand here, at the beginning of the chapter, Arjuna raised a very valid question, a very important question. Enna question kettaru? What was the question? Which is the best, whether to engage in the impersonal Brahman or to directly worship the personal Supreme Personality of Godhead? Very important question. So, to that, Krishna give a very clear-cut, straightforward answer. So, enna answer? So, basically, the best, the superior is that to directly worship Krishna. So, that's the answer. Okay. There is no doubt that the devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the best of all processes of spiritual realization. So, this is the essence of this Bhagavad Gita. This is the essence of this chapter 12. So, we have seen there are many methods to approach Krishna. Even in chapter 6, we can see Krishna was speaking about Ashtanga Yoga, right? But ultimately, Arjuna rejected Ashtanga Yoga, and and then we are here on chapter 12. So, like that, there may be many methods, but the best is actually Bhakti Yoga, right? So, now I'm asking a question. I'm opening a question. Why Bhakti Yoga is the best, in your opinion, based on whatever we have studied? Okay. So, I need your response, right? We have been listening to chapter 12 for a few weeks, right? So, in your understanding, why Bhakti Yoga? Because Prabhupada is telling you Bhakti Yoga is the best of all process, isn't it? So, why? That's the next question. Why? So, anyone like to try? Why? So we already end of the shloka. So we have already get exposed to Bhakti Yoga. Some of us are practicing Bhakti Yoga. So now the very simple question: why Bhakti Yoga is the best of all process of self-realization? Any
Because only Bhakti Yoga you get to engage in a loving service directly with the Lord.
Bhakti Yoga, because we can engage in a loving service directly with the Lord. Okay, nice. Any other answers?
The other two, Prabhu, like Ashtanga Yoga,
Hmm.
Jnana Yoga, and all that, there's a little bit of self-interest. You're trying to satisfy yourself, your sense gratification.
Yes, excellent. Thank you, Prabhu. Yes. So, some other processes, there are some little bit, maybe some little bit minimal of self-interest, right? That to satisfy our senses. So, therefore, even though we are trying to approach, understand Krishna, but we are doing in an indirect way, right? So, therefore, bhakti means we have seen the definition of Rupa Goswami. Okay, let's revise. Okay, so instead of a one-way communication, we're going to have a two-way communication. So we can know whatever we have studied. So we can revise together. So what is the definition of bhakti first of all? அதுதான் ரொம்ப முக்கியம். ஸோ பக்தின்றது நம்ம பேசலாம், ஆனால் பக்தின்ற ஒரு டெஃபினேஷன் சாஸ்திரம் படி வாட் இஸ் த மீனிங்? anyone can quote me a shloka?
Loving devotional service, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. So any quotation from Shastra to support your statement? So when someone is asking, what is the meaning of Bhakti Yoga? So what is the definition? So what is the answer based on Shastra? Anything you can quote? So what is a shloka? Very important shloka. Yes, Harishwan Prabhu, you remember anything to define bhakti? So now all of you are students of Bhagavad Gita. So now we are getting a counter question. So what is bhakti? So we cannot be giving our own speculative answer. Of course, bhakti means serving Krishna, loving Krishna. But you see, when you are presenting, when you are speaking in front of a high court judge, we need to have quotation. We need to have reference. When we are presenting our medical cases, we are presenting our medical conference, we have to have reference. So similarly, when we are speaking about the science of Bhagavad Gita, when you are speaking about Krishna consciousness, we have reference, right? So we are not simply speaking just like the Mayavadis, simply out of speculation, concoction. Whatever I feel, that is spirituality. No. Right? Guru, Sadhu, Shastra is the basis. So we are end of chapter 12, and this is very important. So what is the definition of bhakti? Anyone?
Prabhu, maybe we can look into even in chapter 12 itself, the text 2, it was being described how the devotees, how a person can perform bhakti, which is like they are fixing their mind on the personal form and always engaged in worshipping Krishna with great and transcendental faith, are considered the most perfect. So that's one of the way of like bhakti yoga, but your question is like how to define bhakti, right, Prabhu?
Yes. What is the definition of bhakti? Yes. Okay. That is valid. Krishna is speaking about, this is one of the component of bhakti, to fix the mind on the personal form and always engage in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith. Okay. So yes. So this shloka is very important. I hope you can see my screen. Verse number 2. இந்த ஸ்லோகத்தில் வந்து பகவான் வந்து எஸ்டாப்ளிஷ் பண்ணுறாரு which is the best worship. We have seen this. So someone may ask, Prabhu, I am worshipping Brahman, I am worshipping Brahma Jyoti, I am worshipping the formless aspect of God, absolute truth. Is it okay? So the answer is not okay. because Krishna is rejecting, Arjuna is rejecting. At the end, we can see Arjuna is accepting. This is the superior method. Krishna is establishing here to be most perfect. Yukta tamam mataha. Right? So, valid. Okay, but very important. When someone is asking you the definition of bhakti, this shloka must be remembered. Okay, so everyone, okay, please remember this shloka. I think we have gone through this. Remember? Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karmadi anavritam anukulyena krishna anushilanam bhaktiruttama. We have gone through this, right?
Many times, Prabhu.
Yes, many times. So this is a very important shloka. Harishwaran Prabhu, maybe you missed the discussion for regarding this. I don't know whether you was there or not. We have discussed this also. Okay, this shloka is very important. So this is the definition of bhakti. So this is given by Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Okay, so Anya Abhilashita Shunyam. Abdina, the meaning here is without desires other than those for the service of Lord Krishna or without material desires. In the bracket, such as those for meat eating, illicit sex, gambling, and addiction to intoxicants. So, very important here, Rupa Goswami is giving a definition based on Shastra. Rupa Goswami is one of our important acharya coming from the disciplic succession of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Right, he is a direct disciple of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Rupa Goswami. Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swa Padantikam. படிக்கிறோம்ல மங்களச்சரணா. ஸோ இவர் தான் ரூப கோஸ்வாமின்னு சொல்லும் போது சைத்தன்யா மனோபீஷ்டம், யாருடைய மனம்? ஹீ இஸ் a representative of Chaitanya's mano, mind. So basically Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mood and mission Rupa Goswami is delivering to us, right? So a very important personality, right? Anya Abhilashita Shunyam. Shunyam means what? Shunyam means zero. No. தமிழ்ல சொல்லுவாங்களா சூன்யம் சூன்யம்னு. ஸோ அபிலாஷித, அபிலாஷி மீன்ஸ் desire, desire, abhilash. So anya means my. So physically self. So basically the first is bhakti means, first of all, it must not come out of, to, like you said, to satisfy, like Prabhu said, like to satisfy our own senses, our own material desire. No, that is not bhakti. Bhakti means to satisfy Krishna's desire, right? So first of all, bhakti means must be devoid of our own material desire, like இருக்கக்கூடாது. ஸோ அதனால தான் முதல்ல என்னது, அந்யா அபிலாஷித சூன்யம், எனக்குன்னு வேணும், எனக்கு அது வேணும், எனக்கு இது வேணும், அதை விட்டுட்டு கிருஷ்ணாவுக்கு என்ன வேணும்? வாட் இஸ் த இன்ஸ்ட்ரக்ஷன் ஆஃப் கிருஷ்ணா ஆன் பகவத் கீதா? வாட் இஸ் த இன்ஸ்ட்ரக்ஷன் ஆஃப் கிருஷ்ணா? ரைட். ஸோ மீட் ஈட்டிங், நோ மீட் ஈட்டிங் அப்படின்னா, when we are following the regulative principle, no meat eating, no illicit sex, no gambling, no addiction to intoxicant, that means we are following Krishna's instruction, we are following Krishna's desire. So therefore this is equivalent to anyabhilashita shunyam. When you are following Srila Prabhupada's instruction, when we are following the Purva Acharya's instruction, when we are working on the happiness of Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, so this is anyabhilashita shunyam. So our desire is based on Shastra, not that based on our own sense gratification. So இதுதான் வந்து முதல்ல சொல்ல வருது, like Prabhu said. So bhakti means first of all anyabhilashita shunyam. Okay. So next, Jnana Karmadi Anavritam. Right? So next, Anavrita means what? Anavrita means not covered. So it is not influenced. It is not influenced by what? Not influenced by Jnana Karmadi. Okay, very important point. What is the meaning of Jnana?
Regulation.
Yes, okay. Thank you, Prabhu. So basically, Jnana, technically speaking, Jnana means knowledge. Isn't it? Jnana means knowledge, and Jnana is supposed to be good, supposed to be spiritual, supposed to be favorable to Krishna consciousness. Right now, what we are doing? We are discussing Bhagavad Gita. Amanglalya. Idu jnanam thane? Is this jnana? Yes. This is jnana. Okay, this is jnana. We are discussing about Krishna jnana, the knowledge about Krishna, bhakti, philosophical, which are favorable to Krishna consciousness, to understand Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is jnana. So this jnana, this is the real jnana, to understand Krishna, favorable to Krishna consciousness. But the jnana which Rupa Goswami is speaking here, so when we are performing bhakti, it must not covered by this jnana. What jnana is this? Please read the definition here. What is this, Harishan Prabhu?
By the knowledge of the philosophy of the Monis Mayavadis.
So when Rupa Goswami is telling jnana, அவர் என்ன சொல்றாருன்னா, the knowledge of the Mayavadis. You see not? Can you see not? Immediately our Acharya is smashing, is removing, is taking away, first of all, this bogus understanding of Advaita. So not everything is knowledge, not everything is okay, right? Not everything is okay. Jnana means any jnana which is favorable to Krishna consciousness we accept. But Mayavadi, Advaita jnana, what is the philosophy? Can anyone tell me the philosophy of Advaita? What is the philosophy of Advaita?
Everything is
What?
one, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji. What is that?
Everything is one. Like
Yeah,
all
everything.
gods are.
Yes. So this is monist. This is monist. Monist, na? Everything is one. So the problem is everything is not one. Harashwaran is Harashwaran, and Vaishnavi Mata is Vaishnavi. Everyone is a different individual. So how can you say everything is one? Krishna is Swayam Bhagavan. Demigods are different. Living entities are different. The nature is different. They might have some relationship. We have relationship. Jivatmas and Krishna, Bhagavan, we have relationship. We share some similarities. There is some similarities, but that doesn't mean everything is one. There is a difference and similarities. So this is first basic understanding. So the problem with Mayavadis, as Mataji said, they think that everything is one. So what is the problem? Why we are against everything is one? Mataji, why? எல்லாமே ஒன்று நல்ல விஷயம் தானே, எல்லாமே ஒன்று, எல்லாமே ஒன்றா பார்க்குறோம், தூய்மையாக பார்க்குறோம், அதில் என்ன தப்பு இருக்கு? சொல்லுங்க மாதாஜி, என்ன தப்பு இருக்கு? வாட்ஸ் த ப்ராப்ளம்?
Because it can logically it cannot be all the same. We might be equal, like all humans can be equal, but then doesn't mean we are all the same. So, but Advaita philosophy is like everyone is one, as in everyone is same.
Okay, any other answers? Why what is the problem with everything is same?
You are saying that I am being God and you envy the position of God.
Yeah. So you see, it comes to when you are telling everyone is same, that means you and God are also Same. இதுதான் அத்வைதம். Let me repeat myself. If the Mayavadi philosophy is everything is one, there's no difference between the Jiva Atma and also Brahman. So now that is a problem, because when you are telling that Brahman and Jivatma are one, that means you are Brahman, you are God. So isn't it problem? That's problematic alaya. When you are telling I am God, is it acceptable?
No problem.
Yeah, that's answer. I mean, that's understanding. So why our Acharyas, you see, our Acharyas are in the definition of bhakti. Rupa Goswami is kicking out, smashing out Mayavadi first. In the Srila Prabhupada Pranama Mantra, we are smashing out Mayavadi, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi. சைத்தன்ய மகாபிரபு அதான் செஞ்சாரு, ஆச்சரியர்கள் அதான் செய்கிறாங்க. ஸோ நம்ம இது ரொம்ப முக்கியமான விஷயம். திரும்ப திரும்ப நான் சொல்லிக்கிட்டு இருக்கேன். நான் எல்லா டிஸ்கஷன்லையும் இதை பேசிக்கிட்டே இருக்கேன். ஏன் நான் ரிப்பீட் பண்ணிகிட்டு இருக்கேன்னா, இது ரொம்ப ரொம்ப முக்கியம். எல்லாமே ஒன்று கிடையாது. ஏன்னா எல்லாமே ஒன்று சொன்னால் நான் கடவுள்னு சொல்லுவீங்க. இப்போ அதான் நடக்குது. isn't it? அன்பு தாங்க கடவுள். we are ஸ்பெக்குலேட்டிங் என்னன்னா, அன்பு தான் கடவுள்னா என்னது? 4 பேருக்கு நல்லது செஞ்சால் அதான் கடவுள். ஸ்பெக்குலேஷன். யார் சொன்னால் 4 பேருக்கு முதல்ல நல்லதுன்னா என்ன, அதை டிஃபைன் பண்ணணும். நம்மளுடைய நல்லதுடைய டெஃபினேஷன் என்னது? வாட் இஸ் த டெஃபினேஷன் ஆஃப் நல்லது அக்கார்டிங் டு அவர் ஸ்பெக்குலேஷன், அவர் illusion, our ignorance? When you are feeding them some meat, KFC, McDonald's, some meat, or giving some free food, you are thinking that is good, so-called goodness. When you are giving them some money, you are thinking that is goodness. But Shastra doesn't approve these as goodness, right? Because even if you want to do charity, they are charity in the mode of goodness, patient ignorance. So if someone is feeding someone meat and telling this charity, you're going to hell. If you are giving money to someone as charity, but the person misuse it in alcohol or meat eating or intoxication, you're going to hell. I mean, it is sin. So not everything so-called philanthropic activity or all these things are actually good. 4 பேருக்கு நான் சாப்பாடு வாங்கி கொடுக்கணும். என்ன, பல பேர் பசியில் இருக்காங்க. ஒரு கோழிக்கறி, ஆட்டுக்கறி எல்லாம் ஆர்டர் பண்ணி கொடுத்து சாப்பிட வைப்போம். ஏன்ப்பா காசை வீணாக்குறீங்க? கோயிலுக்கு போயிட்டு ஏன் காசை வீணாக்குறீங்க? நீங்கள் எல்லாம் சொல்லுவாங்க, கோயில் கட்டாதீங்க. Why you are building temples? Why not you build Tamil schools? Don't build temple. Why not? Why not you feed the poor? So this is illusion. This is illusion born out of our own speculation. Because people don't have the understanding of the purpose of temple. What is the purpose of temple? To give spiritual knowledge, to establish relationship with Krishna, to build your character, to purify ourselves. So it's very important place. So I am not telling that we should not build schools, but what is the position of schools? We have so many schools, but we are producing what? Animals. Polished animals. We have so many colleges. So what is lacking here? It's not about building temple or building schools, but doesn't matter whether you want to build schools or temple. The real question is, are we speaking about Krishna consciousness? Are we speaking about Bhagavad Gita as it is? If we are going to build so many schools and all the schools are preaching about Krishna consciousness, then you can build schools. So the problem is, the knowledge must be disseminated. This is most important. What happened? What's happening in our Tamil schools? We are speaking about atheism. We have so much of Tamil, so much of this Tamil very, but we are not even following the instruction of the real Tamilan, real instruction of Thiruvallavar. திருவள்ளுவர் என்ன சொல்றாரு? யார் தமிழ் ஸ்கூலுங்க? திருவள்ளுவர் ஒரு பெரிய சாப்டரே வச்சிருக்காரு, மாமிசம் உண்ணக்கூடாதுன்னு. ஸோ அப்போ தமிழ் ஸ்கூல் செஞ்சு திருவள்ளுவர் படத்தை நீங்கள் வச்சுருக்கீங்கன்னா முதல்ல என்ன ஃபாலோ பண்ணணும்? திருவள்ளுவர் இன்ஸ்ட்ரக்ஷன் ஃபாலோ பண்ணணும். All the Tamil schools, when you enter the Tamil school, Bile Gurubasa, they'll be having Thiruvallavar photo, Vivekananda photo, and all these photos are there. ஸோ இப்போ நான் கேள்வி என்னன்னா, திருவள்ளுவர் நம்ம ஃபாலோ பண்ணுறோன்னா திருவள்ளுவரோட இன்ஸ்ட்ரக்ஷன் ஃபாலோ பண்ணணும். திருவள்ளுவர் என்ன சொல்கிறாரு, மாமிசம் உண்ணக்கூடாதுன்னு ஒரு சாப்டரே வச்சுருக்காரு. ஆனால் அந்த பாடத்தை வச்சுக்கிட்டு அங்கேயே உட்காந்து எல்லாம் மாமிசம் உண்ணுவாங்க, பிஏபிஜி மீட்டிங்கு அந்த மீட்டிங்னு. அப்போ எங்கே போச்சு? ஸோ இதுதான் பிரச்சனை. ஸோ இந்த மோனிஸ்டிக் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங் எல்லாமே ஒன்று. நான் 4 பேருக்கு நல்லது செய்யுங்க, அதான் அது நான் நல்லதுன்னா கிருஷ்ணர் சொல்கிறாரு, உண்மையான நல்லது வந்து ஒரு ஆத்மாவை திரும்பி பிறக்காமல் காப்பாற்றுறது தான் நல்லது. ஸோ 4 பேருக்கு நீங்கள் பகவத்கீதா சொன்னீங்கன்னா, 4 பேருக்கு நீங்கள் ஹரே கிருஷ்ணா நாமம் ஜபம் பண்ண சொன்னீங்கன்னா, 4 பேருக்கு நீங்கள் பிரச்சாரம் பண்ணீங்கன்னா அது நல்லது. ஆனால் நம்ம இஷ்டம்படி போய் காசு கொடுத்துக்கிட்டு, சாப்பாடு வாங்கி கொடுத்துக்கிட்டு, அதை மாமிசம் கொடுத்துக்கிட்டு, அண்ணா யாத்திரையில் போயிட்டு கேஎஃப்சி வாங்கி செலிப்ரேட் பண்ணிக்கிட்டு, கல்யாணம் பண்ணி 4 பேருக்கு எல்லாம் சாப்பாடு போடுறேன்னு சொல்லி என்ன செய்யறோம்? பாவம் தான் பண்ணுறோம். அங்கே ஒரு மட்டன் பிரியாணி, சிக்கன் பிரியாணின்னு. ஸோ இந்த மாதிரி பாவம் இடத்துக்கு நம்ம போகவே கூடாது. பார்க்க போனால் அதுதான் சாஸ்திரம் சொல்லுது. ஏன்னா when some sinful activity is going on, first of all you must not present there. If you don't have the power to question, if you don't have the power to change a situation, then you should not be there. இதுதான் சாஸ்திரம் சொல்லுது. So that is why we devotees, பகவானை புரிஞ்சவங்க, பகவத்கீதையை புரிஞ்சவங்க, we don't unnecessarily visit all these places including demigods temple. புரியுதுங்களா? ஏன் பிரபு கணேஷா, முருகன் இவங்கெல்லாம் பக்தர்கள் தானே, இவங்கெல்லாம் கிருஷ்ணனுடைய பக்தர்கள், லார்ட் சிவா கிருஷ்ணனுடைய பக்தர்கள். ஆமாம், இவங்கெல்லாம் கிருஷ்ணனுடைய பக்தர்கள் தான். ஆனால் என்ன கேள்வி, கிருஷ்ணனுடைய பக்தர்களை வந்து எப்படி அங்கே வழிபடுறாங்க? அவங்க தான் பகவான் நினச்சி வழிபட்டுக்கிட்டு இருக்காங்க. அப்போ அங்கே என்ன பண்ணுறாங்க? தப்பான ஒரு வழிபாடு நடக்குது. எல்லாமே ஒன்று நினச்சி வழிபடுறாங்க. டெம்பிளில் போய் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா கடைசியில் என்ன சொல்லுவாங்க? ஜோதி 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 ஸ்வயம், ஜோதி 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 பரம். இது நீங்கள் சொல்லுவாங்க. எல்லாம் இந்த மாதிரி தேவர்கள் கோயிலுக்கு போனீங்கன்னா கடைசியில் இதை படிப்பாங்க. என்ன அர்த்தம்? எல்லாமே வந்து பிரம்மான், இந்த ஜோதி தான் ஸ்வயம், எல்லாமே ஜோதி, நான் ஜோதி, நீ ஜோதி, எல்லாமே ஜோதி, எல்லாமே ஒன்று, மாயாபதம். அப்போ அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு இடத்துல போய் நம்ம அங்கே நின்றுக்கிட்டு என்ன பண்ணுறோம்? கேள்வி கேட்க முடியாது, பிரச்சாரம் பண்ண முடியாது. அப்போ அங்கே நின்றுக்கிட்டு என்ன செய்கிறோம்? பகவானை ஒஃபெண்டிங் பண்ணுறோம். இது ஒஃபெண்டிங் பகவான், ஒஃபெண்டிங் த ஹோலி நேம், ஒஃபெண்டிங் த சாஸ்திரா. எத்தனை ஒஃபெண்ட் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க? ஸோ அந்த ஒஃபெண்ட்லாம் நம்ம இருந்துக்கிட்டு நம்ம அங்கே இருக்கும்போது we are also taking up the கர்மா. அதனால தான் பக்தர்களை பார்த்தீங்கன்னா இந்த மாதிரி பிளேசஸ்க்கெலாம் போக மாட்டாங்க unless you want to preach. நம்ம போயிட்டு பத்து கேஃபில் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா தைப்பூசத்தில் நம்ம பக்தர்கள் என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க? தைப்பூசம் அன்றைக்கி போய் பகவத்கீதா புக் டிஸ்ட்ரிபியூஷன் பண்ணுவாங்க. ஸோ இதுதான் நம்மளுடைய டியூட்டி. எங்கே இருந்தாலும் நம்ம என்ன பண்ணணும்? doesn't matter, because this is how you please Lord Muruga. Lord Murugan எப்படி ப்ளீஸ் பண்ணணும்? by distributing Bhagavad Gita, preaching about Krishna consciousness, and Lord Muruga will be happy. It is not that we also go and engaging in this karma kanda. No, we must engage in a superior activity, which is Krishna conscious activity. This actually pleases Lord Muruga. So conclusion enna? What is the conclusion? Everywhere is mayavadam right now. Everywhere is mayavadam. எல்லாமே ஒன்று தான். இதுதான் டேஞ்சரஸ். எல்லாமே ஒன்றுனா எல்லாமே நான் கடவுள், நீ கடவுள். 4 பேருக்கு சும்மா சோறு போட்டால் கடவுள்கிட்ட போக முடியாது. பல விஷயங்கள் இருக்குது. முதல்ல கடவுள் யாருன்னு தெரியணும். கடவுளுக்கு ரூபம் இருக்கா, ரூபம் இல்லையான்னு தெரியணும். கடவுளுடைய பேர் என்னான்னு தெரியணும். எப்படி அவரை அப்ரோச் பண்ணுறதுன்னு தெரியணும். எல்லாத்துக்கும் ஒரு ரூல்ஸ் அண்ட் ரெகுலேஷன்ஸ் இருக்குது, ஒரு ப்ரொசஸ் இருக்குது. ஸோ அதனால தான் ரூப கோஸ்வாமி, வாட் ரூப கோஸ்வாமி இஸ் டெல்லிங் ஹியர், if you want to approach Krishna, first you have to reject the jnana. What jnana? Mayavadi jnana. Clear? So that is why jnana anavrata must reject this first. This is the first criteria. If you are approaching Krishna if you are going to, example, if you are going to ISKCON temple, same time in your heart you are worshipping some bogus gurus, or if you are worshipping some all this Mayavadis understanding you are having, then that is not actually bhakti. You are doing more offense because you are thinking Krishna is formless. You are thinking the Archa Vigraha Sri Radha Krishna and also that bogus fellow, this Sridhi Baba or Sai Baba is same. No, that's more offense. You're doing offense. புரியுதுங்களா? சில பேர் அந்த மாதிரி இருக்காங்க. ஸோ ஏன் இருக்காங்க? ஏன்னா யாருமே அங்கே அதான் பிரச்சாரம் பண்ணணும். ஸோ அஃப்கோர்ஸ் we are not immediately condemning them, not immediately we are criticizing them, but the fact is that the truth must be spoken. Nicely must explain what is the definition of Guru, who is God, who to worship, who not to worship. So this is what I am telling. The gradual preaching must be there. So all these are important things. Because our acharyas are telling this, our acharyas are smashing. Immediately jnana, Mayavadi is rejected. Okay. Next, karma. So activity. Karma means what? By default, the definition of karma literally means activity. ஸோ அப்போ ரூப கோஸ்வாமி என்ன சொல்கிறாரு? நம்ம ஆக்டிவிட்டி எல்லாம் கிவ் அப் பண்ணணுமா? கிடையாது. We should do any activity which is favorable to Krishna consciousness, we should do. But any activity which is not favorable to Krishna consciousness, அதான் என்னது? Fruitive activity. பிரபு சொன்னார்ல, satisfying our senses. Demigod worship, important. So when we are speaking about demigod worship, it's actually to satisfy our senses. Because when we approach demigods, we are asking something for ourselves. So this is fruitive activity. So that is not bhakti. So any activity which is not according to the instruction of Shastra, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna consciousness, it is karma kanda. So that must be rejected. And adi, jnana karmadi. Very important. And etc. Adina, enna etc. na Rupa Goswami சொல்றாரு, artificially practicing detachment by the mechanical process of yoga, by studying the Sankhya philosophy. So basically, all this speculative knowledge, we are trying to understand God, but we are not actually accepting God. So we are trying to do mechanical practice of yoga. இப்போ நிறைய யோகா இருக்குது. இப்போ பார்த்தீங்கன்னா நிறைய யோகாவுடைய ஸ்டூடியோ வந்து மஷ்ரூம் ஆகிருக்கு எல்லா இடத்துலையும். ரொம்ப ஃபேமஸான யோகாக்கெலாம் இதெல்லாம் நிறையா பேர் இப்போ யோகா கூட கற்றுக்குறாங்க. ஆமாவா இல்லையா? இதுன்னு ஃபேஸ்புக்கில் போனால் யோகா ப்ராக்டிஷனர் இருக்காங்க. ஸோ அது ரூப கோஸ்வாமி என்ன சொல்கிறாருன்னா, த ரியல் யோகா மீன்ஸ் டு கொனெக்ட், டு யூனியன். So the real yoga means to connect with Krishna. Adan goal. So bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, ashtanga yoga, all this yoga actually to connect with Krishna. But what happened? Mechanical yoga means you reject Krishna, you take away Krishna. Okay, you take away the principle of Bhagavad Gita, you take away the real principle of yoga shastra, you apply your own speculation. You just practice the exercise. Yama, niyama you don't follow. Ashtanga yoga சொன்னாலே முதல்ல என்ன வரும்? Yama, niyama. Yama, niyama means rules and regulation, the 4 regulative principles. அப்புறம் யமா, நியாமா, பிரணயாமா. பிரணயாமா இருக்கணும். பிரணயாமா is breathing. அப்புறம் என்ன இருக்கணும்? the posture, the sitting position, the flexibility, அதெல்லாம் சொல்லி கொடுப்பாங்க. இப்போ நம்ம என்ன எடுத்துக்கிறோம்? இது 2 தான் எடுத்துக்கிறோம். எப்படி நல்லா மூச்சு விட்டு டயபெட்டிஸ் ப்ரிவென்ட் பண்ணுறது, ஹைப்பர் டென்ஷன் குறைக்கிறது, பிபி குறைக்கிறது, எப்படி நல்லா உட்காந்து நம்மளுடைய உடம்பை நல்லா ஃபிட்டாக வச்சுக்கிறது. ஆனால் வாட் இஸ் த கோல் ஃபார் ஆல் தீஸ் திங்ஸ்? அல்டிமேட்லி டு அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் அண்ட் டு connect with Krishna. அதை நம்ம பார்க்க மாட்டோம். ரைட். ஸோ இதுதான் வந்து பிரச்சனை. ஸோ அதனால தான் ரூப கோஸ்வாமி சொல்கிறாரு, any mechanical yoga which is not favorable to Krishna, we should reject. Right? Same. So Sankhya philosophy means what? The Sankhya means analytical study. where we study analytically, we study about the soul, we understand we are the body, and we are not the body but soul. But ultimately, you don't accept Paramatma, you don't accept God. So this is also there. So all these things you must see. Okay. Okay. So next. So jnana karmadi anavritam. So what is the three criteria? Rupa Goswami is telling. Jnana. What is the meaning of jnana? Anything speculative knowledge, Mayavadam, should be rejected. Karmadi, any fruitive activity, demigod worship should be rejected. And also Jnana, Karma, Adi. Adi means what? And all these practices which is devoid of Krishna should be rejected. Three things. Okay. And Anya Abhilashita Shunyam means selfless, no any personal motivated desire, only for the pleasure of Krishna. ஓகேங்களா, பாருங்கள், இது உள்ளுக்கு எவ்வளோ விஷயம் இருக்குது. அது உள்ள சிம்பிள் ஸ்லோகா தான், ஆனால் when you உள்ளுக்கு பார்க்கும்போது நிறைய விஷயங்கள் இருக்குது. when you study the real under explanation of acharyas. Okay, next. Anukulyena Krishnanu Shilanam. So what is the meaning this? Anukulyena. Anukulya means what? Anukulya means favorable. Okay, so whatever it is favorable, Krishna Anusilanam, whatever is favorable to Krishna consciousness, which establish a relationship with Krishna. Okay, so that we should accept. That is first class. So that jnana we should accept. That karma we should, just activity we should accept. Just like now we are discussing what? Bhagavad Gita. So this is Anukulyena, which means favorable to Krishna consciousness. Like Prabhu went to temples, visit Divya Deshams, or visit getting the association of devotees in different places. Anukulyena. So that is also activity, but it is Anukulyena activity, which is favorable to Krishna consciousness. That is first class. Right? That's the meaning here. Anukulyena Krishna Anusilanam. Okay. So whatever is favorable to Krishna consciousness, we should accept. Bhaktir Uttamam. So that is first class devotional service. Okay, so when anyone and someone asks you what is bhakti, this is the definition should come up from your mind, and this is the explanation you should give, and this is the understanding of bhakti. Okay, so nowadays, we simply will say bhakti means like, bhakti means love. You see, love is very subjective. Love is very subjective. Of course, ultimately, bhakti means love of God, love of Krishna, prema. Tavaru kadayadu. But we should systematically, very nicely present, following the footsteps of our acharyas. Rupa Goswami வந்து நேரா அந்த மாதிரி சொல்லலையே, பக்தி மீன்ஸ் லவ்னு. ஒரு எப்படி அழகாக சொல்கிறாரு பாருங்க. ஏன்னா அப்படி சொன்னால் தான் நம்மளுக்கு புரியும், நம்ம ஸ்பெகுலேட் பண்ண மாட்டோம். இல்லைனா லவ்னு சொல்லிட்டு எல்லாமே லவ் பண்ணிக்கிட்டு இருப்போம். நோ discrimination. அதான் பிரச்சனை. So Rupa Goswami knows well about the conditioned souls. So that is why he never used all these speculative words in the beginning. So it's very clear cut, very discriminative words, very powerful words. So now you read the translation, then you will understand. Okay, let's read together the shloka. Okay, by heart you should memorize this. Okay. Harishwan Prabhu, maybe you can read. Now you read the shloka.
Anya bilashita shunyam jnana karmadi anavritam anukulyena krishnanu silanam bhaktir uttama.
Perfect. Read the translation.
When first class devotional service develops, one must be devoid of all material desires, knowledge obtained by monastic philosophy and fruitive action. The devotee must constantly serve Krishna favorably as Krishna desires.
Yes. Is it clear? இப்போ crystal clear-ஆ இருக்கா definition of bhakti? Is it crystal clear? Any
Yes,
doubts?
Prabhu.
Yes. So this is the meaning of bhakti. So now, what is the meaning of bhakti? அப்படின்னு சொல்லும் போது என்ன சொல்லணும், நேராக இந்த ஸ்லோகம் வரணும். யாரு கோட் பண்ணோம்? இதான் ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கோங்க. பக்தி ரசாமிருத சிந்து ரூப கோஸ்வாமி have quoted this. Okay, so yeah, so this is the definition of bhakti. Okay, so இதெல்லாம் நம்ம பேசிகிட்டு இருக்கோம்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா பேசிக்கலி வி ஆர் end of the chapter. ஸோ இது ரொம்ப முக்கியமான ஒரு விஷயம். ஓகே, and so that is why you see immediately, so now we make the connection. So let's make the connection. So that is why immediately in chapter 12 Krishna rejected. Okay, so now you see how in the chapter 12 entitled devotional service bhakti yoga, when Arjuna is asking question, okay, idan question, please read it loud, Harishwaran Prabhu.
Text 1. Arjuna inquired, which are considered to be more perfect? Those who are always properly engaged in your devotional service, or those who worship the impersonal Brahman, the unmanifested?
பார்த்தீங்களா? You see, this is the chapter of bhakti yoga. பக்தி யோகா சாப்டரில் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்லோகத்தில் அர்ஜுனா வந்து லவ் அதெல்லாம் பேசலை, பிரேமா அதெல்லாம் அவர் பேசலை. இப்போ நேராக இங்கே என்ன கொஸ்டின் கேட்குறாரு, இந்த மாயாவதி இந்த இம்பர்சனல் பிரம்மானை வந்து சிறந்ததா வழிபடுறது, இல்லை உங்களை டைரக்டாக வழிபடுறது சிறந்ததா? அப்போ அடுத்த லைன்லேயே கிருஷ்ணா என்ன அடிக்கிறாரு, என்ன அடிக்கிறாரு? Please read text 5.
Text 5. For those whose minds are attached to the unmanifested, impersonal feature of the Supreme, advancement is very troublesome. To make progress in that discipline is always difficult for those who are embodied.
Troublesome. Look at the word. Troublesome. Advancement is troublesome. That means you cannot progress. It's very difficult. So it's very, this is none different than how Rupa Goswami is presenting the definition of bhakti. Jnana karmadi. First of all, you must slash off the speculative knowledge. அதான் இங்கே செய்கிறாரு, கிருஷ்ணன் அதான் செய்கிறாரு. Can you see the connection? So this is how bhakti yoga is established. So next, immediately you see, Krishna is giving the answer here. Okay, please read, Prabhu. Numbers, number 6, 7, 8. You're muted. You can unmute. Okay.
Sorry,
Yes.
Prabhu.
Yeah.
But those who worship me, giving up all their activities unto me, being devoted to me without deviation, engaged in devotional service and always meditating upon me, having fixed their mind upon me, O son of Pritha, for them I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. Text 8 mentions, just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus you will live in me always without a doubt.
This is Krishna, Anukulyena Krishna Anusilanam. Whatever is favorable to Krishna consciousness. Fixing the mind, engaging in devotional service. So basically, Rupa Goswami's definition is summarized bhakti. The whole chapter 12 is summarized in there. So when you understand the meaning of this shloka, Anyabhilashita Shinyam, then you've understood bhakti. Okay. So that is why here Krishna making a point. Imperishable path, very important key point. Imperishable. So bhakti is imperishable because any service done for Krishna is always eternal. Aliyade. So is always continue. So I was speaking to, is the Mataji here? Okay, Mataji. Yeah, I was speaking to one Mataji, right? So I was, she was asking. So நம்ம இந்த மாதிரி நம்ம இந்த பக்தி ப்ராக்டிஸ் பண்ணுறோமே அது அடுத்த பிறவிலையும் வருமா, இன்ஹெரிட் பண்ணுமா? எஸ், that is why suddenly we can see they are some of them are very inclined, very favorable to Krishna. நீங்கள் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா you're coming from a different background, but suddenly you are very much suddenly inclined toward Krishna. Suddenly a different the changes will come in your life. So all these things because actually you have done some Krishna consciousness in your previous life. So these things will take place, will progress, make you progress. So that's why it's imperishable. So you can accumulate money in the bank, but it is perishable. Once you die, you give up this body, you cannot claim. You can have so much of title, PhD, doctor, master. Once you die, you cannot claim. But whatever we done for Krishna, imperishable. So yetu dharma amritam idam yathaktam pariyupasate. So amritam, it is also amritam, imperishable devotional service. That's the meaning. Amrita means actually another meaning is imperishable, nectar. There's another meaning. Mrita means is actually dead, destroyable. Amrita means imperishable. So, and who completely engage themselves with faith. Yeah, very important. Shraddha danaha, Shraddha, not blind faith. Faith must comes with use your intelligence. That's why Krishna says, engage your intelligence in me. So when you use your intelligence, hear from Shastra, then you develop the faith. So this is called faith, not some blind faith, because blind faith doesn't last. Okay. And then Krishna says, Mat parama bhaktate ativa me priyaha. So making me as a supreme goal, Mat parama. So இதுதான். ஸோ நம்ம புரிஞ்சுக்கணும் பக்தி யோகா. நம்ம டெஃபினேஷன் பார்த்தாச்சு. ஸோ இன்னொரு இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் விஷயம் பகவான் எனக்கு என்ன சொல்கிறேன்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, பிரபுபாட் எங்கள் இதில் ஸோ வென் யூ ஆர் ஆக்சுவலி டேக்கிங் அப் பக்தி யோகா, you no need to follow any step-by-step processes. You no need to actually, you can immediately get purified. The Bhakti Yoga is so potent, so powerful. So that's the important point you சொல்றாரு. The reason is because, very important, Prabhupada is making the point, sadhu sangha, associate with the pure devotees. You see, Prabhupada, it's a very important verse actually, or a statement. Please read the okay, please read it, Prabhu.
The impersonal conception of supreme absolute truth as described in this chapter is recommended only up to the time one surrenders himself for self-realization. In other words, as long as one does not have the chance to associate with a pure devotee, the impersonal conception may be beneficial.
Continue until you.
In the impersonal conception of the absolute truth, one works without fruitive result, meditates and cultivates knowledge to understand spirit and matter.
Yeah, continue here.
This is necessary as long as one is not in the association of pure devotee.
Okay, sorry. Continue also until here.
Fortunately, if one develops directly a desire to engage in Krishna consciousness in pure devotional service, he does not need to undergo step-by-step improvement in spiritual realization. Devotional service, as described in the middle 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, is more congenial. One need not bother about materials to keep body and soul together because by the grace of the Lord, everything is carried out automatically.
Yeah. So, you see, the impersonal understanding, it is useful until Atmajnana. Because even the impersonalists, நீங்கள் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, they also study the Atmajnana, they understand that they are not the body. Until they are right. The trouble comes when they think Atma and Brahman is one. Right? And another thing is, they get no any association of devotees. So அது ரொம்ப இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். ப்ராப்பர் எங்கே ஸ்ட்ரெஸ் பண்ணுறாரு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, so if you don't have a chance to associate with a pure devotee, so then you see how the impersonal concept may be beneficial. So and even that is beneficial only until the understanding of spirit and matter. So other than that you are gone. So basically then what we can understand here is, in bhakti, if someone asks a question, what is most important thing in bhakti? So the most important thing in bhakti is actually devotee association, sadhu sangha. Okay, so there are many aspects in bhakti. So one of the thing is shravanam kirtanam, listening, chanting is important, but ultimately all these things will only develop and cultivate when we actually surrender unto guru, surrender unto bona fide spiritual master, actually when we get association with pure devotees. Otherwise we cannot progress. Very important. So the key point is, bhakti is not something one man show. Bhakti is not one man show. Bhakti is not one man show. Devotees association are extremely important. You can never progress in bhakti if you don't take association. So that is why we need to go to the temple. We need to associate with devotees. We need to sit down and listen. We need to sit down and have a discussion in Bhagavad Gita. We need to share our heart and our minds to proper to devotees. We need to hear from Prabhupada. So when I am speaking about association with devotee, even reading Prabhupada books is also association, because Prabhupada is purest devotee of Krishna. So reading is association with Srila Prabhupada. But same time, we also need to have association with our Siksha Gurus, our senior devotees. It's very important, extremely important. So don't think that it's okay, Prabhu, I know everything, I know Bhagavad Gita, I've studied Bhagavad Gita, I have I know the philosophy. It's no use. Prabhupada said there's no use in knowing the philosophy. You might know everything, you might be expert in all these philosophical things, but if you're not putting into practice, then acharam is not there, then there's no use. Useless. So whatever we are studying must be put into practice. Okay, that's very important. And all these things will come when we actually have association. Is that clear? But we must not also understand the word association very loosely or cheaply. That is why again Rupa Goswami is giving understanding, there are different classes of devotees. Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyama Adhikari, Uttama Adhikari. Appadina, not you must know who to associate with. Not just because you are attending temple program, not everyone, because you are new. So you must have some discrimination ability to whom you should gain knowledge, to whom you should make friendship, to whom you should actually preach. So this discrimination is very important. So that is why you should have the basic fundamental understanding of Krishna consciousness, so you can actually discriminate. Otherwise you'll be confused. Prabhu, this devotee says this. Prabhu, இவங்க அப்படி சொன்னாங்க, இவங்க முடியும்னு சொன்னாங்க, இவங்க எப்படி சொன்னாங்க, நீங்க முடியாதுன்னு சொல்றீங்க. எப்படி பிரபு? அந்த இவர் எப்படி சொன்னாரு, இவங்க எப்படி சொன்னாங்க. ஸோ பல பேர் பல மாதிரி சொல்லுவாங்க, 1000 பேர் 1000 மாதிரி சொல்லுவாங்க, even among the devotee sangha. சரிங்களா? So we will get confused. உண்மைங்களா இல்லையா? So the point is, you must follow Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. You must take guidance from the qualified devotees. இதுதான் ரொம்ப important. You must take guidance from the qualified devotees. You must have the discrimination. So whenever, how to know? When they speak, then you know. The moment you understand what is the understanding, what is your principles, what is the activity like, then you can know the level. Then you can know whether you can take instruction from them or not. This is also taught in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. It's not that do not judge, don't judge. No. We have to judge, otherwise we have lost our intelligence. So I'm asking to judge means not that we find fault unnecessarily or we are looking down upon persons. No. When I'm saying judge, it's a very basic things. So that you can know to whom you can take instruction, to from whom you can take guidance. Because everyone's in a different level. Everyone have a different progressive pathways. So that is why it's very important when you want to choose a guru, when you want to take a shiksha guru, when you want to hear Bhagavad Gita discussion, from who you are listening to. All these things are very important. So you need practice, you need actually you need to understand Prabhupada books. Then you can get the discriminating ability to detect எது உண்மையிலே உண்மையான கிருஷ்ணா கான்ஷியஸ்னஸ், எது சோ கால்ட், எது டைல்யூட் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க, எது வந்து அகெயின் சாஸ்திரா, இதெல்லாம் நம்மளுக்கு தெரியணும். வாட் இஸ் த ப்ராப்பர் ஸ்டாண்டர்ட். ஸோ நிறைய விஷயங்கள் நிறைய பேர் நிறைய மாதிரி பேசுவாங்க. ஸோ அதனால தான் நான் என்ன சொல்ல வரேன்னா, when Prabhupada say devotee association, you must understand it very carefully. Devotee association is very important, but it's not that you simply take instruction from everywhere and get confused. Very important, especially for the new ones. Very careful. Read Prabhupada books. The basis is Guru Sadhu Shastra. எல்லாம் ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கோங்க. Then you discriminate, then you hear, then you get association, then you learn things, then you question things, then you progress. Synchronizingly, simultaneously, you should practice, you should chant. So is that important? So I think this is important. Sadhu Sangha. So the real meaning of Sadhu Sangha சரியா புரிஞ்சுக்கணும். It is not that simply go and make friends with everyone, but you don't get the, you don't know what's the really meaning of Sadhu Sangha. Sadhu Sangha means a real association means it will transform your life. A real pure association means it transform your life. Just like when Prabhupada went to America, all these white fellows are transformed. This is Sadhu Sangha. So in your life when there is no transformation, that means you are not actually getting the proper Sadhu Sangha. Or even you might get Sadhu Sangha, but you are not actually taking the endeavor to follow. Two things are there. Okay. So your own free will must be there. Of course, Sadhu Sangha is important. This will push you. Okay. So ultimately the potent Sadhu Sangha is actually reading Srila Prabhupada books. That is the ultimate. That is the main. From there you can actually check what is right, what is wrong. Okay. So okay, I think we can stop here. So and in summary, in conclusion, so when we are speaking about Bhakti Yoga, Bhakti, so this is the definition. Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karmadi anavrittam anukulyena krishnaanusilanam bhaktiruttamam. Okay. And then Rupa Goswami is telling Bhakti can be classified into three. I have also discussed this. Bhakti can be classified into three. First is actually sadhana bhakti. Okay. Sadhana means what? Sadhana means by
Practice.
yes. So sadhana bhakti can be further divided into two. Vaidhi bhakti, right? Vaidhi bhakti and also raganuga bhakti. So Vaidhi means what? Vaidhi means there is a vidhi. There is a rules and regulation. Because in the level of sadhana, all of us are on the level of sadhana. Because we don't have spontaneous attraction. All of us don't have spontaneous attraction towards Krishna. So therefore you need some practice, you need some push. We cannot wake up naturally 4 a.m. We cannot chant naturally. We have to keep trying and pushing ourselves. We cannot give up meat. We cannot take only Krishna Prasadam. We cannot give up cinema. We cannot give up many things. So we are all on the level of sadhana bhakti. So sadhana means what? Following the rules and regulations, follow the instruction. So what is the goal of sadhana? The goal of sadhana is to revive your natural ability to spontaneously love Krishna. Right? So a very nice analogy is that when a child is there, sometimes we are, trying to make the child walk. நடக்க வைப்போம்ல, எப்படி செய்வோம்? ப்ராக்டிஸ் பண்ணுவோம். கம், ஹோல்ட் அ ஹேண்ட், ப்ராக்டிஸ், fall down, practice, fall down, get up. Actually, the child have a very natural ability to walk, but what we are doing, we are making it spontaneous, we are trying to bring it up. Same thing, all of us jivatmas have the natural tendency to love Krishna. Naturally it is there, okay ngala? But this sadhana bhakti actually will revive that. So when we actually got perfection in sadhana bhakti, what happened? We go to the next level, which is raga anuga, spontaneous. Okay, that is also comes under sadhana bhakti, but it is spontaneous. So maybe previously you need to alarm, you need to force to wake up, to do mangalarati or to chant, but now naturally it is coming. Naturally you are doing, naturally you have attraction to Bhagavad Gita, naturally you are preaching. So this is, raga anuga. And then further you progress into bhava. Bhava means what? This is your bhakti of maturity. So you are actually, on the level of mature. This is Shastra is telling like a ripened fruit. Right? So there's your level. So bhava, and then the highest is prema. Prema is like fully matured, fully ripened. So this is the level of acharyas. This is the level of gopis, prema. So our levels are actually sadhana, okay, vaidhi bhakti, even raganuga. We have, some of devotees might be raganuga, but some of you might be prema or bhava, no problem. All these things are, you can judge yourself. By how is your activity, how is your speech, how is your sadhana, then you can know your level. So by this you can know. So, and it is not that when you come to prema you give up all the rules and regulations. No, in fact you should follow more strictly. Just like Srila Prabhupada, he completed 16 rounds, he wake up, so Mangalarati, so all these things are there. So prema means you must do everything perfectly, naturally. And if we can see all the symptoms of prema bhakti, the tears, when you hear the name of Krishna, actually the tear will come up. All these things all our body will be shaking. So all these things are there. Spiritual ecstasy will be there. The symptoms will be manifesting. So adnalna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Shikshastrila solluvaru, when I will have this shivering, when I will have the crying, when I hear the name of Krishna, I am so sinful that even I utter the name of Krishna, I got no love for Krishna. This is our situation. So much of dirt, so much of lust, so much of desire. So by chanting, these things will be removed. Then you can have the symptom. Okay, and all these things are there, and we must not proudly expose things. Even if we have the symptom of prema or bhava, that must be kept unto yourself, and you should continue practice bhakti. அப்போ சில பேர் என்ன பண்ணுவாங்கன்னா, நான் கிருஷ்ணாவை பார்த்துட்டேன், கிருஷ்ணா முன்னுக்கு வந்து பேசிட்டாரு அப்படியே சொல்லிட்டு தெரிஞ்சுட்டு இருப்பாங்க. ஸோ that is, you see, Prabhupada never did that. Acharyas never did that. See, so இது ஒரு பிரச்சனை இருக்கு. We are trying to be sahajiya. Sahajiyana cheap. Cheaply we are thinking as bhakti is cheap thing. நான் கிருஷ்ணாவுக்கு வந்து நான் சாப்பாடு ஊட்டினேன், கிருஷ்ணா வந்து என் கூட சாப்பிட்டாருன்னா ஓகே குட், ஜஸ்ட் keep it yourself and practice bhakti. It's not point. Don't become a sahajiya. Sahajiya means, you are thinking bhakti is saja, and they don't follow regulations, they don't chant, they don't follow the 4 Ade principles, they cannot wake up for Mangalarti, but you are telling Krishna come and eat your food. So bogus. You know what I mean? So these things are there. So இதெல்லாம் பக்தியோட அங்கத்தில் வரும். ஸோ நம்மளுக்கு தெரியணும், what are our level நம்ம என்ன செய்யணும்? நம்ம என்ன செய்யணும்? சாதனா பக்தினா சாதனா பெர்ஃபார்ம் பண்ணணும். கிருஷ்ணா வராரா? வெரி குட். இப்போ இட்ஸ் அ வெரி நைஸ் கான்வர்சேஷன். ப்ரோபாட்டோடைய இதில் இருக்கும் கான்வர்சேஷனில் இஸ் ஒன் டிவோட்டி டிசைபிள்ஸ் ஆஃப் ப்ரோபாட் இஸ் மாதாஜி. I think they just joined Hare Krishna movement. So, she is telling Prabhupada, you know what? When I chant Hare Krishna, I can feel something. I can feel some light, some vibration is coming. She's telling to Prabhupada. And Prabhupada said, you should actually focus more on the holy names and chant properly. You don't take it cheaply. Don't speculate things around. Don't hallucinate. You know what I mean? Something like that. So the thing is, don't try to make this thing cheap. Okay, holy name, we must know our level, and we should chant sincerely. And even if, yes, because definitely when you chant sincerely, Krishna will appear, Krishna will manifest. No doubt in that. Okay, so you can reciprocate accordingly, but you must be very careful and don't make it cheap. Okay, so you know what I'm meaning. What's what I'm trying to tell. So it's a very important thing. So we must know our level. அதான் நான் சொல்ல வரேன். So we have in Chaitanya Charitamrita, we can see how Mahaprabhu will collapsed. Whenever he heard the name of Krishna, he will collapse. This is the level. Prema. We have seen how Acharyas, when Prabhupada is singing Jaya Radha Madhava, the Radha name சொல்லும்போது he is choking. He cannot utter the name Radha. Choking. For around 5 minutes, he was choking. But after that, he said what? He said sorry, and he continued the class. So we understand this is all a symptom of ecstasy. புரியுதுங்களா? ஈவன் Prabhupada didn't say, ராதா சொன்னோன்னே எனக்கு எல்லாம் சோக்கிங் ஆகி நான் இதில் போயிட்டேன், பரவச நிலையில் போயிட்டேன்னு சொல்லிட்டு அவர் அந்த மாதிரிலாம் பப்ளிஷ் பண்ணல. ஸோ திஸ் இஸ் அவர் ஆச்சாரியஸ் ஷோவிங் அஸ் எக்ஸாம்பிள். புரியுதுங்களா? ஸோ ஈவன் we can see many things, pastimes of Prabhupada. Prabhupada is in a different level. He is a direct servant. He is a direct servant from Goloka. ஸோ அவர் என்ன பண்ணுறாரு, நம்மளுக்கு இறங்கி பக்தியை சொல்லி கொடுக்குறாரு பை எக்ஸாம்பிள். ரைட். ஸோ அதுதான். ஸோ இதுதான் பக்தி யோகா. ஸோ சாதன பக்தியில் வைரி பக்தி, ராகானுகா பக்தி, பாவா பக்தி, பிரேமா பக்தி. ஸோ டெஃபினெட்லி we can progress into prema. No problem. Follow, chant attentively, listen Bhagavad Gita. ஓகேங்களா? Bhakti is not cheap. Bhakti is not cheap. Don't think is bhakti is simply cheap love, emotion. No. It is spiritual ecstasy, spiritual love. It is establishing relationship with Krishna, Bhagavan. Right? No joke. So the conclusion is sadhana. Practice makes perfect. Okay? So practice your Mangalarati, chanting, hearing, association of devotees, progress yourself, try to follow all the regulative principles, get initiated for those who are not initiated. For those who are initiated, listen to your Guru Maharaj lecture, listen to Prabhupada lecture, do preaching programs, associate with like-minded devotees, do university preaching, use your talent, use your intelligence, use your skill. You are retired or you are student, do everything, use everything for Krishna. If you are very wealthy, use the money for Krishna. Use your support, sharing things, inviting devotees, whatever you can in your capabilities, please do that. Okay? So I think we are finished with chapter 12. Okay? So thus end the Bhakti Vedanta purport to the 12th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the matter of devotional service. Hare Krishna. I will stop here. Is there any questions? Any doubts?
No questions from me, Prabhu.
Okay. Anyone? Okay. Vaishnava Mataji, anything?
No, Prabhu.
Okay. So, if no questions, we will end the discussion here. We will continue with a whole new chapter, chapter 13, next week. Thank you very much. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanang pavenebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, sir. Hare Krishna.